Metal Gear Solid 3. We made it, folks. We made it! We made it to Metal Gear Solid 3. Split across 2 missions like we see in Metal Gear Solid 2 between the tanker and the big shell events. We see this is split across 2 missions as well. It takes place in 1964 with the Virtuous and Operation Snake Eater mission. So today what I would like to at least do is get the Virtuous mission completed. It's pretty short, just like how the tanker mission was. And we'll probably end the episode right after that. Alright, let me get my sound on my end all set up. Oh, you guys ready for that intro? You ready for this intro? Because we're going to hear it again. It's going to be amazing. Alright, controller, you've had your time to charge. Now's the time for action. Woo! Woo! I'm ready. Still in a dream. So good. Toxicoli knows what's up. He loves this game. Now, if we were to play this on my PlayStation 2 disc, we would have all kinds of crazy unlocks, but I think it's all in this version, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Now, Bluepoint, you keep seeing that name pop up. They're part of the HD Collection remake. They're not part of the original development of these games. It was Konami and Kojima Productions almost exclusively.
Silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. A tree frog, it's ordeal, the trial to survive. For the day we see new light, I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time,
So good. So fucking good, man. Okay. Alright, so let's take a look here. We got some briefing files, Virtuous Mission, and Operation Snake Eater. Down here, Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. This was where we played Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2. We're finally made it full circle. We're back onto the game. Let's see what special mode says. Basic actions, photo album. Okay. Look at the options. We got blood on, own view, normal, camera mode, third person view. Yep. Camera up and down. I need that reversed. Left and right leaves the same. Captions. Real-time cutscenes in full screen and brightness adjustment. Fucking change it on your monitor. That's the way these old games were. We ain't gonna let you change it in here. Change it on your own TV, haha. Transferring, this is so that you can move back and forth between the PS Vita version and the PS3 version of this game, which is so, like, that's cool, but, like, the Vita was just such, like, a not reason to own it console, but the Vita is the concept that we see now in the Switch before the Switch was ever around. They just wouldn't execute the right way. The games were just too big for the most part, you know? But here we are. New game. I'm playing MGS series for the first time. You all know that's not true. I like MGS1, I like MGS2, I like MGS3. Alright, so let me actually take a moment here. Let's pull up a guide as to what that means. And get an actual definition. I know generally what it's about. Alright, so, but I want to get a good explanation. For new to Metal Gear Solid, the top option right here, nothing happens really. I believe the game gives you more tutorials and explanations on control as such, pretty much just tries to get you familiar with the game. What this guy on the internet says 5 years ago. MGS1, Snake apparently has more stamina and virtuous mission. He still has facial hair. If we go with MGS1. MGS2, Snake starts off wearing a mask to disguise his face from the gunship crew. This mask looks identical to Raiden from Metal Gear Solid 2, just a little nod to the fact that Raiden was MGS2's main protagonist. And then Metal Gear Solid 3. You start the game with all special camos normally unlocked by beating the game once. All cutscenes are also unlocked in Movie Viewer or whatever the game calls it. So kind of a loaded question. It kind of leaves you up in the air. You don't know, like, which one to play. Let's see if we can get some more research on this. And either way, we can get, okay, so it gives you some camos if we do this one. All the face paints that look like flags of different countries. They aren't very useful. Green and brown face paints. And then we get the uniforms of Desert Tiger, Flecktarn, Uscam. I think you also get the DPM. Now, camos, we'll see what they do here in a bit. Let's see what else we got. I'm really torn. Do we want facial hair? Do we want to do the Metal Gear Solid 2 intro? Twitch chat vote. I'm thinking facial hair. Here's what we're going to do. You guys tell me in the chat exactly what you want to see us go through, but at the very least, I think we'll start... No, we need to have one playthrough where we go through it. After we beat this game, we'll restart the file, and we'll pick Metal Gear Solid 2 and see the reference. I don't know. It's however you guys want to do. I'm kind of leaning towards facial hair, but I don't have confirmation of that. I'm looking for confirmation that that's truly the case and not just some when starting a new game, the game will ask you a question with MGS you like best. If you select MGS1, your stamina will not go down as fast. Selecting MGS2 will change the introduction a bit. If you're playing Subsistence, there will be another option like I like MGS3. If you choose this, select this and save your game, you'll have immediate access to the demo theater, several additional camo patterns that you can save to your memory card in the camouflage download. Oh, we kind of need to go with Metal Gear Solid 3. I've done the MGS2 intro. It's kind of cool. It's a neat little tip of the hat. We kind of do need to do Metal Gear Solid 3 because when Metal Gear Solid 3 came out on the PlayStation 2, online connectivity was kind of a new thing. And you could actually connect to the internet with your PlayStation 2, and once you got in there, you could actually download to your memory card different camouflage. And I'll actually show you guys here. We go up to my memory card utility. Yeah, we'll have to quit the game. It's fine. We haven't started anything yet. No signal, I know. I know. Alright, so if we go up, take a look. I have all of my saves organized correctly. Final Fantasy saves, Metal Gear saves, and then miscellaneous bullshit. So if we take a look at this is my memory card for Metal Gear Solid 3, the original one. You can see the date there. I was playing it back in 2008, but all these right here, these camos, you used to download them. And apparently all those downloadable save files are available if you select. This is my MGS2. I didn't even realize that. You go through and accept that version. So yeah, let's do Metal Gear Solid 3. If you say MGS1, sounds like it only affects the Virtuous mission, so I'm worried about him losing his facial hair by the time you get into Snake Eater mission. But I wanted to show you guys those downloadable skins and stuff just because it was part of the times. DLC. It was all free, of course, but it was little and it had no impact in gameplay and it was for funsies, and they didn't release it until they knew damn well everybody had beaten the game. I think it came out like 3 months after the game was out. And back then, you know, you beat games quicker than you do today. No data, right? When have I played this? For 4 hours. Alright, we're gonna go on normal. Not European Extreme, you fucking tryhards. Calm down. Alright! This is Virtuous mission.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Altitude 30,000 feet.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask. Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Approaching release point.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
Sunrise.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate bailout model.
This is one for the history books. The world's first halo jump.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop-off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings
And fly. God be with you.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the Virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the Virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov? Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin to orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story. So why'd he want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the West. We used a mole to get the family out first and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba, and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handed him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No. According to our intelligence, he's in Selinoyarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selinoyarsk in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the west. If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking. Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat-proven.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talon?
She's equipped with two 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as two 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong,
You'll be eating dinner, breakfast.
and all the rest of your meals in the jungle. Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
Well, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
We're in it. The gameplay begins. Metal Gear Solid 3. All right, so some things I want to point out. First and foremost, I'm going to go ahead and Move Bog Druid down a little bit. Right there. Okay. Because I want you guys to be able to see. Straight above me, it says Splitter Olive Drab. So what that is it's referring to the face camo, or the face paint, and then the camo that I'm wearing. Movement and how I am standing and interacting with the environment dictates the percentage of camouflage I have. As you can see, the camera angle is now third person, like a normal third person shooter. Also have Snake's health bar, as well as his stamina bar up there. Right, left. Calorie mate can't just be left on the right side. It's part of the weapons screen now. God, look how crisp that looks. Knife play. Okay, so let's take a look at the camouflage system. 55% hidden based on my current setting. 75%. If I sit still, it's 80. And it begins already. I have stabbed a frog, ladies and gentlemen. And I have gained Frog B. I've stabbed a mushroom. I've gained Mushroom C. That's about the gist of it. Here's the meals. You get, there's like little stuff that you can do for catching and eating certain frogs. Not eaten yet, taste unknown. You can see that down there. You kind of get a record for how different things taste and whatnot. And food replenishes your stamina in this game, not your health. Previous game. Give me that snake. Game cannot be called Snake Eater unless I eat a snake. Crawl under here. Keep your eye on things. You don't want to get bit by a snake out here.
Snake, where do you think you're going? You can't expect to proceed with the mission without any weapons or equipment.
Whoops.
First, you'll need to recover your backpack. It's caught on a tree to the south. Press the action button to climb the tree and retrieve your backpack. Is that clear?
Sorry. Major Tom. Oh, I had passed the tree. I didn't see it up there. Okay. So these vines on the cover, on the front of the tree means that you can climb it. You climb all the way up to the top. You're on top of it. Press X. Oh, triangle to interact and grab your stuff. Now let's talk about what's in the pack.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake. To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose Weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left. From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the Enter button. For other equipped items, just do the same thing from item.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right. Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun?
That's right. It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire. Once its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone. So don't get too trigger-happy with it. The suppressor's durability is shown in the icon. Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste. The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation of international conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. It could spark an international incident. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word. And there'll be no rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So, how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She?
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
Huh?
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
The boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me.
Oh.
Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top secret mission. You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. I was on a top secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You are a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time, and so do the leaders of a country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think?
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your codename is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit, a group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss.
Yes?
It's good to hear your voice again.
Same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
CQC? Close quarters combat, huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the Major?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is 141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle techniques.
Gotcha.
Your mission is to retrieve Dr. Sokolov. Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Commencing virtuous mission now.
In there like swimwear. Alright, so behind me you can see MK22 tranquilizer gun. Got a directional microphone. Captured ourselves a snack. A sneaky snack. Alright, so now we can get into these things. So, you guys remember the pop-up and pop-down menus from the L2 and R2 controls from Metal Gear Solid 1 and Metal Gear Solid 2, and actually Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2. So now we actually dictate what is on the left and right. So we can actually decide what that is now. So I'm going to put the survival knife, MK22 in there. I'm going to leave the rest of this food out. Keep that side nice, clean, and easy. On the left side, we got the fake death pill and the revival pill. Can't take the revival pill out because it's in your fucking tooth. The cigar, binoculars, motion detector, active sonar, anti-personnel mine. So if I remember correctly, with this one, this game, you don't have Soliton radar. Active sonar sensor that detects animals with sound waves. Press L3 button to emit a wave, consumes battery power when used. An motion sensor that detects an object's motion does not detect stationary objects consumed power when used. So that's where our Soliton radar comes in. Get little blips. We don't know if it's an animal or not. Then we got the sonar for things that are stationary. Create a blip by doing that. That is how we detect things. Everything else is done with our eyes in this game. This changes the formula of Metal Gear significantly. I don't know what else to say. This game's really fucking good, man. This is one of the really good ones. Are you gonna do a lethal or non-lethal run? I always do lethal runs on my first playthrough. And I always try to do non-lethal on my second playthrough of a Metal Gear game. Not only does it do blips, it does bloops too. True. True. Oh, let's go in and take a look at the camouflage menu. So you can change your face and your uniform. So we got some tells us actually too, which will get better for it. So, you know, USA, USA, USA. Italy, UK, green. We can put on a mask. What does that look like? And then we can put on splitter. Alright, well, we'll put on the woodland paint right now. And for our uniform, we got all kinds of different options here. We'll go ahead and put on leaf option. You can see that gets us all the way up to 90% camouflage. Hitting 100% camouflage is extremely difficult in this game. 90% is very high. So we're very stealthy in this now. Sneak in. Alright. Got crocodiles. Put them to sleep. I I keep trying to... Whoa, I've never seen... game put me under the ground like that. Oh, this is quicksand. Alright, we got a silencer for our gun. Get comboed, Gator. Keeping him stun locked. Oh yeah, that's oh yep. Three meals. We have a giant anaconda in there. We got a tree frog, Siberian inkcap, reticulated python, Indian gavial. Gavil? Gavile? I don't know how it's pronounced. Dirty bastard, the skaters. Also, so in this one, this is how we pull up our map. Tells us where we be. Then, out. Go this way. Sounds good, Mountain Dew. We'll see you later, man. Thanks for hanging out. Take H. Yeah, that was pretty good, wasn't it? I liked it a lot. Snake is all about hitting me right now. We got a map transition here. Now we're going to Dremyachiv North.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. We can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer. The Uniform option lets you pick your uniform, while the Face option lets you change your face paint. Choosing camouflage that blends in with your surroundings will help you conceal yourself more effectively. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed. You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the Camo Index. The Camo Index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature. Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
Nothing. You cannot hide from freedom. It's bug juice. I forget what bug juice do. I think it just keeps bugs off you. Bug repellent keeps away hornets and leeches while lasting. Apply with X button in window. So with this game, what you have to do every now and again is stop. Go in, check out your camouflage, make sure none of your... You can't do any kind of changes that's going to improve the current camouflage situation. Now this is the first enemy we've come across. No idea that I'm here. Immediate drop if you hit him in the head in this one. I got some more rounds. Grass was so good in this game. Got a grenade now. You're gonna live inside of a tree. You're home now. Rumple fucking Stiltskin. Why didn't it fire? Nobody else saw that.
What's wrong?
That was close. Gotta keep them separated by a wire, but go in that instead of grass. Smoke granada. In here. Thermogoogles. I'll show you guys a little secret that you'll find all over this game. This annoying little bastard right here. Every level has one. Every single solitary map has one of those. And in my heyday, I'll have you know I hit all of them. You have to shoot them. There are car chase scenes in this game, just like in Metal Gear Solid 1. And yes, there is one of those frogs somewhere on the level within that car chase scene, and you have to hit it while on the move, and it was insanely hard. I did it. Shit-eating grin. Alrighty. So. Try this. January 25th, leaving January 29th. Nice, man. Beekeeper achievement. Give me that. Give me that hornet's nest and that ointment. So funny little story about Zig here. Every time I get to this point in the game, I see this bridge. And I want to climb down the side of this and get into something down here. The reason why, because of Ocarina of Time. There's a heart piece. Yeah, I was actually just going to say, if you're doing that, you got to bring the PS4, man. Oh, God. This bridge teaches you to walk slow on it, because if you go too fast, it just throws you off to the side, whether you think you should or not. It does. Speaking of which, I need to handle that whole Monster Hunter thing real soon here. Also, you two, plus Rebel Red if you're still watching, the 19th, there's a beta. Normally I don't do betas for games. They like just experience it. But if you compete, if you do participate in the beta for Monster Hunter World, you get stuff unlocked in the game. I'll be doing that. Biped Snake, thanks for the follow, bud. Alright. XM16E1. Hold in first person view. Shoulder aim with L1. Ooh. Ooh. What is that? This is actually a really good assault rifle. I totally forgot this was in game. This is, so it's called the XM16E1. So this is Cold War, so we're not in Vietnam yet, so the M16 is not a rifle that exists yet. But this right here is, in fact, the experimental weapon version. It's the prototype of the M16, so it looks like an M16. Operates like an M16. What I like in this game is you can hit the triangle button to change your firing behavior. So, let me go ahead and take myself off screen so you can see what's happening here. You see the little dashes down there in the bottom left-hand corner of the square that has XM16E1 in it. You can hit triangle, and it makes it a 3-round burst. You can hit it again, it makes it single fire. Or you can go back to full auto. Super cool. Super cool. Any announcement about fixing the tech? Oh yeah, I'll teach you, man. I got hundreds of hours on different Monster Hunters. Fixing the tech. Oh, for like running on a PS4? No. I don't think they intend to either. Eat this ink cap. Alright. Alright. It's disgusting, but it did replenish my stamina.
Who's that?
Alright.
Get us some backup.
Was not supposed to happen. This was not supposed to be what happened. This is all a mistake.
Requesting backup.
Oh god. Alright, what do I always say about sneaking games? If you get caught, you might as well die, cause it's not worth your resources to fight your way out. I've just accepted my fate. Stop calling me. Kill me! He just threw a grenade. Yeah, from what I hear, it does 30 unless you got like a full entourage on screen, and most of those people are like, so like apparently the new gun that actually goes like it actually has a machine gun to it. The new gun causes a lot of frame rating issues. Like it eats up a lot of frame rate data. So like they say if you have a 4-man team and 2 of those players have that, on the normal PlayStation 4, it will go under 30 frames a second. It'll go down to 24 is what they say. But, I mean, if worst case scenario, you're pushing the system to the absolute limit, it goes down, it variables between 24 and 30. Because it's not the worst. Like, that's your absolute worst case scenario on the worst system. And honestly, I don't see us going in with 2 gunners at the same time. But yeah. Well, the thing is Sony's not letting people produce games if they don't follow the rules that they set down. So the thing that really sucks is, technically, that game still runs on a normal PlayStation 4. Technically. I hate that it's a technicality, though. It really drives me insane. Yeah, I mean, well, I think the best way to really figure it out is playing the PS4. Or playing the beta. They see me? Oh, they're running from the bees. Bees! Hey, there was a way to... How do you do it in this game? Oh, yeah, the hunting horn's in there. The hunting musical weapon. Yeah, because if we play co-op consistently, we're gonna need somebody who's doing buffing. I'm thinking about trying a tank element to it. I've always done greatsword. I've always done greatsword. So like when I'm learning the game, I'm probably gonna roll greatsword again. But think about doing like a tank. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna figure out... What I like about this game is you can set up, adjust your camo, be as hidden as possible. Why does that take so long to load? You are a PlayStation 3. I mean, the game's been updated. If it's your very first time, in your case, I suggest sword and shield or dual blades. Because both of those don't eat up a lot of stamina, and you can get out of the way of things, and that's really good, what you're going to be doing a lot of when you very first start playing. You're going to be doing a lot of running and a lot of rolling, a lot of running, a lot of rolling. You're going to be doing tons of dodging. But the good thing though is if you jump in on the beta, they give you just preset loadouts of like different like weapon and armor combos, and they just let you go into the game and figure it out. So you'll be able to test some things out and get an idea for what you're going to be good at.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
Alright, so we're gonna get Sokolov now. Claws, I will punch. Dual Blades probably be the closest to it. I think Dual Blades has a, has like a variant of the weapon, like depending on one of the monsters, does have something that looks a lot like Katar's in some of the games. So I mean, we still don't know what the weapons are going to look like in this newest one, so don't know about that yet. That will be in there, but it might be disgusting. And yeah, so like most times though. So one, the beta is going to have a good selection of different weapons you can choose from, kind of get a feel for in the beta. And then in the main game, they're going to give you one of each weapon in a very kind of crappy state. And you can go on the first few missions with that and kind of decide what you want to go with. After that, though, you kind of want to like stop and plan out what you want to do for your weapons, because mats are not easy to farm for. So you kind of want to commit to something, or you're going to end up wasting a lot of time re-farming mats for a different weapon. But you'll figure that out really quick, though. Like, you're going to figure out, you're like, this weapon doesn't make any sense, this doesn't make any sense, this weapon feels real good. Like, there's going to be one weapon that just makes sense to you. You're going to figure it out real quick. On those bullets. Alright, so we're sneaking in. What's over here? What is this? M37. M37 12-gauge shotgun. I like the sound of that. French shotgun. Alright, let's do some calls. Oh, I thought she was supposed to be helping me.
Saving the game, Snake?
Yes. I don't know what's going on here. Exactly 1 year out? Exactly 1 year out. I was doing something. I was doing something with the save files. Testing something. I think you come back and you play on a certain, like if you play 1 year out from another date. Oh no, I know what this was. I know exactly what this was. Oh no, that's not a year out. Jesus. 2011's the year. I know what this was. I was killing somebody right here. I want to delete these. Why is there no sound? Oh, you haven't seen it? Nope. It's about this monster called Godzilla who grows to enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo. Nuclear test, huh? Marshall's Islands must be crawling with giant monsters, right? Just make believe. That's why my pants have been so tight lately. Snake, it's a movie, not a report out of Los Alamos. I know. And what happened? Godzilla is immune to all weapons, and humanity has no way to stop the monster. The Wawa develops a new type of weapon. Meanwhile, Godzilla is getting closer and closer to Tokyo, obliterating everything in its path. Originally a Japanese movie, but they made an American version too. I recommend seeing the original Japanese one if you have a chance. It's mostly mindless fun, but it's also got a serious anti-nuke messages. When I see the original, you'll just have to go to Japan. Really? That's if you wait 40 years, you might be able to see it in America too. Why is that? 2004 will be Godzilla's 50th birthday. 2004 is when the game came out. I think they're still going to be making Godzilla movies then? Of course, everybody loves Godzilla. Sure know a lot about movies. I don't suppose you're the movie watching type, are you? Not really. Okay then, I'll tell you everything I know. When the going gets tough, movies can save your life. It's always good to be able to look at things from a different perspective when you get in a jam. That's magic of movies. No kidding. Well, I guess it might be at least make a nice distraction. That's the spirit. Snake, have a little fun. He'll talk next time. I think I hit a button when I was coming out of saving, and that's what stopped it from
Who's that?
voice acting.
What's going on?
Ah! Ah!
Control here. Enemy sight. Back up.
I'll be back. Forgot how much this shotgun destroys people.
HQ.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We've lost sight of the enemy. Commence alert formation.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
You must be Sokolov.
Are you one of Volgin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word. But we've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of Gru. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power. The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
Is that so? America is truly a frightening country.
Having second thoughts?
No. I have no love for this place. Let's go.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
I had to kill them. There was no other way. But no one will know we were involved.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss some time ago.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
You would say something different if I didn't murder all those guys. Something to keep in mind.
Freeze!
So this is the legendary boss. Huh? We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. Huh. What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Soldier?
He's the Ocelot commander.
Ha! That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU.
Sokolov, take cover.
Huh. You're not the boss, are you?
GRU operatives!
What is that stance? Huh. That gun. If you're not the boss, then die.
Major! Leave it! Shoot the other one! Whoa!
ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do. But testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
You filthy American dog!
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you all right?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgin.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB and GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgin's.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
So, Ocelot, who turns into like a super cool character later in the series, starts off as this really green and arrogant operative. Remember 1964? The rest of the series starts off in the 90s. We don't see Ocelot until 1999, I think, is Metal Gear Solid 1. Metal Gear Solid 1 was released in 92, I want to say, right? 94? Yeah, 94. And I think it's 1999 is the events of Shadow Moses. I'll double check real fast. Because you don't see him until then. This starts in 1964, and then Metal Gear Solid 4... Oh, I'm sorry. Metal Gear Solid is 2005. I stand corrected. Maybe I said that. I think I said that. Maybe. I don't fucking know anymore. Yeah, 1964. Ocelot's introduced in this game, and then we don't see him until the Shadow Moses incident, which is Metal Gear Solid 1, in 2005. Quite some time. Alright, let's scourge around for some items first. They put lockers in here you can't open. Through with you. $1984. Oh. The Metal Gear Solid 1 takes place in 1991. Excuse me. 2005. Game comes out in 95, I think. I have to pull up my look. Yeah, okay, 98 is Metal Gear Solid release date, but it takes place in 2005. Give me that snake food. That rat food. Okay, so let's see. And we're not talking about MGS5, we're talking about Metal Gear Solid. We're also not spoiling things. Alright, I tend to remember there was items in here. I'm wrong. But that grass just grew. Either because it was loading in or because somebody stepped on it. Just little sneaky snake's gonna be fucking full. Alright, so let's eat some food. Articulated python, let's try it out. Tasty. Well, second law doesn't apply to games this old, but I'm not talking about it because this is going to get cut to episode. Also, Belly doesn't know anything, so try not to spoil stuff for him. Metal Gear Solid 5 isn't a real game, Belly. Don't worry about it. It doesn't exist. Nothing happens ever. Actually, I was going through and I was rereading. There was a significant amount of story in Metal Gear Solid 5, and I just don't remember it that way. I remember Metal Gear Solid 5 being void of story, but it actually has quite a lot that happens in it. Bean! I've been trying to get this game for so long. How can I do it? Please help and thank you. If you're talking about playing it, you have multiple ways to play Metal Gear Solid 3. You, of course, could try to get a hold of a PlayStation 2 and play the original release of it, along with Metal Gear Solid Subsistence. But the most likely version that is going to be doable is getting a hold of a PlayStation 3 and getting a hold of the Legacy or HD collection of Metal Gear Solid. There's a very small price difference between them. HD collection is cheaper, but the Legacy collection has a lot more to it. I would suggest the Legacy collection if you're interested in playing more than just Metal Gear Solid 3. Otherwise, I would just get the HD collection, which is the version we're playing currently. Also, if you don't have a PlayStation 3, I would also suggest picking up, if you have the system, a Nintendo 3DS, I would suggest picking up the Metal Gear Solid Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater 3D version of this game, which is Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater in the Nintendo 3DS. They did a very good job with that. But I would say the best way to play this game, in my opinion, is getting a hold of the Legacy collection and having a PlayStation 3 that will play the Legacy. Yeah, you also, yeah, that's true too. The Vita does have a release as well because of the HD collection was a multi-port situation. They were doing that a little bit around that time, where games coming out for PlayStation 3 sometimes also got launched for the Vita at the same time. Yeah, absolutely. Very good game. Alright. Where'd Sokolov go? Oh, check this out. This is cool, too. I didn't mention this in the features. You can roll barrels into people. It's fun. Alright. Yes, there is a 3DS version. It's actually pretty good. I remember I remember when I was watching trailers and stuff for this game on the internet, back when like YouTube was still like a fine idea, and I remember my mom comes in and she's like, "What are you looking at? Why are you so excited by this?" And I'm like, "Dude, this game, you can do whatever you want in it." And then I showed her like rolling the barrel into enemies. It was in the trailer. I was like, "You can roll barrels," and she's like, "You can roll barrels in the backyard." I'm like, "Mom, shut up! You don't get it." All right, so Sokolov ran off and hid. Yeah, check this out. Cause you get in a fight later. There ya. Be like, "Oh my God, they're coming to get me! Coming to get me!" And then you can be like, "Du-du-du-du-du-du-du. Yeah!" Alright, Sokolov. A little cig rolling a barrel around. Such a fun time. Did he die? I don't believe that. Been off the charger for like maybe an hour. Trying to tell gamers about non-gamers about floor plans, yeah, it's impossible. Oh, I had cardboard boxes. Okay. Alright, so I've spent a good amount of time trying to find where Sokolov went off to, right? So we leave.
You okay? Those men were from the Ocelot unit.
Spetsnaz?
Yes. The best crew has to offer. They're coming for me. I'm finished!
Calm down. I'll get you out of here, I promise. And we've got some of the best backup we could ask for.
Look.
That's what they were making you build?
Yes. The Shagohod. The treading behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBMs.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain?
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo. Is that thing finished?
No. This is only the end of Phase 1. It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2.
Phase 2?
The weapon's true form. If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War?
Yes. And then the Age of Fear will truly begin.
World War.
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go. Boss?
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
Hornets?
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more. Welcome back, boss.
Now that all 5 of us are together, it's time we go to the depths of hell itself. It's raining blood. Is he crying?
Kuwabara, Kuwabara. Ah, what a joyful scene.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
Boss, what is this?
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Recoilless nuclear warheads. These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
Who is he? Another one of your disciples? Are we taking him with us?
No, this one is still just a child. Too pure for us Cobras. He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
What are you talking about?
Think you can pull the trigger?
He's seen my face. We can't let him live. If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished. He must die.
Wait. He's my apprentice. I'll take care of him. Jack, you can't come with us.
The new blood has been rejected. Are we done here?
Now, onto Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move? You've got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it. Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
Major. The boss. She's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment. Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button and surgical treatment using the weapon window button. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone, and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow, and abdomen. They need to be fixed using surgical treatment. Move the healing cursor with the left stick to the affected part of your body. Once you've selected the affected area, hold the weapon window button and use the left stick to select the medical item, and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages. That should do it. For lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to clean the wound, sutures to stitch it up, styptic to slow the flow of blood, and bandages to wrap the wound. If you do everything I mentioned, the wound should heal completely. Understood?
Yeah.
Stay with me. Go into the survival viewer and treat those wounds.
Alright. We're gonna treat these wounds. I'm gonna go to cure. We got a cut condition, suffering from a deep cut, bleeding, no bandage applied, not yet disinfected. Alright, so I'm gonna stab myself with a cigar. That didn't help. So you disinfect the area. Suture it. Put some ointment on it. Oh, you don't. Styptic. Then you bandage it. Done. They're all cuts. Got any more? More cut. Gonna infect, suture, septic, then bandage. This bone fractured, no bandage applied. So you put a splint on it, bandage it up, splint on it, bandage it up.
Good job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
Shagohod.
Excellent. A great success. Thanks to the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
She's a nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear. A kiss of death.
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her. She has spunk.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
Colonel!
That's the Virtuous mission, boys.
Darkness and silence through the night.
That's the Virtuous mission.
What a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart.
Of course, we'll be continuing this on the next episode. Got some stuff I gotta handle before we go live with Winter Solstice tonight. What do you guys think? It is such a James Bond opening. That movie influence that Hideo has comes in real strong. So the reason why I told you guys to so first off, I said something in the past and I actually need to correct myself. I was wrong on something. So something that's very cool about magic realism in movie directing, and we see it a lot in what Hideo does here with the Metal Gear series, is that there's a lot of things that seem like they're magic, but they're not magic. It's high sci-fi. And I said once before that out of all of the characters, especially the bosses that you're going to run into in Metal Gear, they're going to seem like they all have magic and paranormal abilities, and there's only one character who actually does, and the rest of it's all sci-fi and technology explained. I stand corrected. After beginning this game, I was reminded through watching some stuff that there is actually two. There's two characters that are truly paranormal in their abilities. Everybody else is explained, their powers are explained through technology and science fiction, mostly in Metal Gear Solid 4. Some other ones are by getting into some files and stuff like that to figure it out. But I'll reveal who those people are when we get closer to the end of Metal Gear Solid 5. Oh, nope. Never mind. Never mind.
Currently flying over the Arctic.
That's for next episode. That's for next episode. Yeah. Yeah.